From the car park at Wyming Brook Nature Reserve, I followed the lane east, soon turning right at the next junction. After a steady climb, I swung left onto Brown Hills Lane, where I soon went right over a ladder stile at a footpath sign. Good morning. Today is Saturday the 15th of April 2023, and today I'm doing another walk within the city of Sheffield, although much more of a countryside walk today. I'm also in the Peak District again. The Peak District does actually mainly fall within Derbyshire, but of course parts of it fall within other counties as well, and I think the Peak District falls within about a third of the city of Sheffield, so yeah, half of today's walk is in Sheffield and the other half will be in Derbyshire. Rejoining the lane, I followed it for about half a mile. I had great views towards Sheffield city centre to my left. I turned right off the lane again to follow a track leading to Brown Edge Farm. As I was approaching Brown Edge Farm back there, I could see a gate in front of me which was closed. I could also see 4 people in the field to my right, 2 men and 2 women, and they were all shoeing this flock of sheep. They were trying to get them out of that field, across the track along which I was walking, and then into the field opposite. So just as I was approaching the closed gate, they were just crossing the track. So I waited a few seconds, and as they managed to get them into the opposite field, they opened the gate for me. I said, "Oh, thank you very much, that was good timing." It was fascinating to watch though. They were all there and they were just making these arm signals, which clearly the sheep seemed to understand because it directed them exactly into the field that they were trying to get them into. So it's brilliant to watch. Today's walk then, it's a new route for me. It's one I've plotted on the OS Maps app again. I always plot my routes now on the OS Maps app, and I just find it invaluable when you're out because, as I say, you can see where you're going, you can make sure that you don't make a wrong turn anywhere, especially when you're going across sort of bleak moorland. It's not always obvious where the path goes, so by using the OS Maps app I find it invaluable because you can just keep sort of just checking where you're going. However, I always do carry a paper map in my rucksack with me, just in case, because I've said before that the OS Maps app does drain the battery on your mobile phone. Oh, somebody's blaring music from somewhere, I can hear it from here. Flippin' heck. Anyway, so yeah, the beauty about today's walk, as I say, half of it falls within Sheffield, the other half falls within Derbyshire. And because I live and work in Derbyshire, I know the Derbyshire part of the Peak District very well, but I don't know the bits that fall within Sheffield so much. So that's what's exciting about today's walk. I'm sort of, in a lot of ways, I'm exploring new territory again. My path emerged onto Ringing Low Road, which I crossed over to a track opposite. loud banging music is getting louder. I thought it was just somebody driving by in their car with loud music in their car radio, but I think there must be something else going on. There's probably some kind of event going on somewhere in Sheffield. But yeah, can't see it. Hopefully I shall be moving away from it later on. But I'm just up from Ringinglow now. Ringinglow, of course, I walked through on a recent walk, and I'm sort of going over this direction. And I'm just approaching something of interest now. So these are the Ox Stones. Not been here before. Nice to see them for the first time. Heard of them. Of course, the Peak District is littered with these wonderful stones. Lovely. Nice views across the Peak District too. Just a shame about that music in the background. Wouldn't be so bad if it was decent music, but it's crap. There's a trig point over there. May as well just go and bag that whilst I'm here. As I've said before, I'm not particularly bothered about bagging trig points, but whilst I'm near one, I may as well do it whilst I'm here. Trig point bagged. Okay, I've done it now. I'm going to move away from that flipping horrible music. Thankfully, I'm going that way. More fantastic views. See right across Burbage Moor there. And over there in the distance is the start of Stanage Edge, and that's where I'm heading for next. Moving on from the Ox Stones, I re-emerged onto Ringinglow Road at the county boundary. I've crossed the county boundary into Derbyshire now then, and having just rechecked the map, I see that it's actually a third of today's walk, if that falls within Derbyshire. The rest of it is within Sheffield. I've just got a little bit of road bashing to do now. In 3/4 of a mile, I went left through a gate, just before Upper Burbage Bridge. I think it would have been very rude of me not to make a quick stop here. So I'm looking down the valley of the Burbage Brook now. At the back, that flat top there is Carl Walk, and over there is Higgator. Fantastic. Okay, well I'm going that way now. Crossing back over the road, I headed along a path from where I could see the Cowper Stone. I then climbed up to reach another trig point at the southeastern end of Stanage Edge. From here, I enjoyed a very pleasant walk along the edge. So I'm back on the wonderful Stanage Edge. Lovely. I'm only doing a short section of it today though. Whilst I am here, I think I'll try and find a sheltered spot away from the crowds and sit down and have my sandwich. Cheese and pickle sandwich today, made by my own fair hands this morning. So no bought sandwich from a supermarket today. Well, there are a lot of people on Stanage Edge today, which I would expect on a Saturday afternoon. But I would say that the rock climbers are definitely outnumbering the walkers today. More rock climbers than I've ever seen actually today. Well, this is as far as I go along Stanage Edge today, but however short or long the walk is, it's always a pleasure to walk on Stanage Edge. Anyway, I'm over that way now. Heading east away from Stanage Edge, I followed the long causeway, the medieval packhorse route, which ran between Sheffield and Hathersage. I could clearly see the location to which I was heading next. Standing at a height of 438 metres, Stanage Pole marks the border between Derbyshire and South Yorkshire and can be seen for several miles around. It was used for centuries as a boundary marker between the parishes of Sheffield, Hathersage and Ecclesfield. A pole has stood on the site since at least 1550. Many initials have been carved into the rock that supports it, and 5 can be identified as initials of the parish road surveyors, who renewed the pole when needed. Well, this is the aptly named Stanage Pole, and I'm now standing on the county boundary again between Derbyshire and Sheffield. Some good views from up here. Yeah. I've never actually walked to the pole before. Okay, well, I'm now going to cross over the county boundary back into Sheffield, and that's where the rest of the walk lies. From Stanage Pole, I continued along the long causeway in a northeasterly direction
and began to slowly descend.
As I make my way towards the final part of today's walk, I'd like to give a shout out to Chris Bentley. Hi Chris, hope you're all well. Now Chris has got a YouTube channel. It's called Chris Bentley Walking and Rambling. Now Chris has just completed a major achievement. He has now completed walking all 95 Ethels in the Peak District. Now if anybody don't know what the Ethels are, I would suggest googling it, but basically they are all the hilltops in the Peak District, which are about 400 metres or more above sea level. So yeah, Chris has actually done videos on all his walks on all the Ethels, so check his channel out. Well done Chris, that is a brilliant achievement.
Eventually, the long causeway reached the end of Redmires Road, but my way was right along a permissive path.
Well, I've now reached the wonderful Redmires Reservoirs. Well, I'm walking on the permissive path beside the reservoirs. I thought this way would be a bit pleasanter than following the road, which goes on that side of the reservoirs. I'm sure that would have been nice enough. Say that would have just taken me back to where I parked my car this morning. But yeah, I did think this way might be slightly pleasanter, a bit more interesting. And I think I've only ever been to Redmires Reservoirs once before. Yeah, it's not far from home, but yeah, there's still lots of places in the Peak District that I've visited rarely, and it just shows how big an area it is. So yeah, it's nice being here today actually.
The Redmires Reservoirs are a group of 3 reservoirs named Upper, Middle and Lower, and are less than 10 miles away from the centre of Sheffield. They are fed from the Hallam Moors by various small streams, including Fairthorn Clough. They were built between 1833 and 1854 to provide clean drinking water via an open water course, which led to the Hadfield Dam situated in Crooks, following the devastating Sheffield cholera epidemic of 1832. The dams were built as part of the Sheffield Waterworks' continuing expansion to meet the ever-growing population of the city. The area is popular with walkers and bird watchers. Adjacent to the Middle Reservoir is Hammond's Field Nature Reserve, which is managed by the Wildlife Trust for Sheffield and Rotherham. The Nature Reserve forms part of the South Pennine Moors Special Protected Area.
I'm coming to the end of my walk now. Just going to walk through Redmires Plantation, and I should be back at where I parked my car this morning. Yeah. Another lovely walk then. Yeah, I've really enjoyed today's walk because, as I say, it's been a new route and it's in part of the Peak District that I don't visit quite so often. So I think I'm going to be doing more routes in the Peak District that falls within South Yorkshire. So watch this space.